I've noticed an uptick in impressive, compelling Taiwanese TV shows on Netflix over the last year. From the compelling and twisted supernatural events of The Resurrected to the sentimental comedy drama of Forget You Not, Taiwan has become a powerhouse for global TV on the platform. This winning streak continues with Had I Not Seen the Sun, a compelling, twisted tale that expertly blends a number of genres together to craft a uniquely tragic story. Our tale begins at the end, with serial killer Li Zhenyao, Zheng Jinghua, arrested after killing 10 people. Earning the moniker, the Rainstorm Killer, for always killing his victims during torrential bouts, Zhenyao refuses to offer a reason for his killings. However, he does agree to speak with Cho Pinyu, Chiang Kai, a member of a documentary filmmaking team whom Zhenyao seemingly holds a fondness for after just one conversation. But this by-the-numbers story about a series of tragic crimes is upended by a ghostly presence. Pinyu begins to see visions of a dead girl in her apartment, which she's convinced is haunted by the spirit of someone connected to Zhenyao's crimes. As the past and present weave together, Had I Not Seen the Sun reveals a multi-genre tale defined by how the serial killer's past made him the person he was in the present day. Had I Not Seen the Sun feels like two shows at once, but it works. Had I Not Seen the Sun is an exploration of two stories, with Zhenyao and Pinyu getting the spotlight depending on the timeline. In the present day, the core focus is on Pinyu, who's juggling both her approach to the serial killer's documentary, alongside mysterious supernatural sequences she's subjected to. I found it quite compelling to have these supernatural elements tie into the documentary and investigation into the extent of Zhenyao's crimes. This was made more interesting because of how creatively supernatural sequences were showcased. There's a surrealist quality to the ghostly events Pinyu experiences, contrasted with the real-world development of the documentary and interview sequences with Zhenyao and people connected to him. The series manages to balance these opposing elements with care, ensuring the tangible and intangible intersect without feeling like they're contradicting each other. However, the foreign Netflix drama uses the present day mostly as a lens for revealing Zhenyao's past. Over the course of the 10-episode first part, the show follows the future serial killer's high school days as a loner with a dysfunctional family. Despite struggling with threats to his well-being and his mental health, he ends up sparking a friendship with dancer Chiang Xiaotung, Moon Lee. The pair's unlikely bond is the glue that holds Had I Not Seen the Sun together. Much of Part 1 takes place in 2007, with Zhenyao slowly morphing into the serial killer he becomes in the present day. But the story also acts as a somewhat romantic drama between him and Xiaotung, the pair continually growing closer as events unfold. The chemistry between the two is palpable in every scene, and the show's unwillingness to shy away from darker subjects makes their connection all the more interesting as events unfold. This does make Had I Not Seen the Sun feel like two different shows sometimes, or, rather, a series about Zhenyao with Pinyu's story tacked on to make it feel unique. However, this balance works in the series' favor as a whole. The focus on the past builds intrigue for the present. With Part 2 scheduled to arrive later this year, it makes that anticipation worthwhile as Zhenyao's descent into becoming a killer is slowly unraveled. Had I Not Seen the Sun Part 1 thrives because of its compelling protagonist. There are many factors that make Had I Not Seen the Sun's narrative engaging. For one, a recurring symbol in both the past and present harbors lots of meaning in both storylines, elevating the thematic through-line of the whole show. It also helps that all the performances are stellar, making even some of the more mundane or slow-paced parts of the drama entertaining to watch. But the real star is Zheng Jinghua as Zhenyao, who brings with him a sensitive touch to the series' core killer. The motivations behind his murders become rather quickly understood, but the details are slowly teased out over the course of the show. Tensions build as he experiences hardship at home and at school, whose culmination makes it hard not to feel bad for him, even if his actions can't be condoned. The show did a good job making me just as tearful or enraged as he was when major events began unfolding. It's hard to pull off sympathy for someone who committed as many heinous acts as Zhenyao is revealed to be involved in. But, somehow, Had I Not Seen the Sun had me rooting for him. There were even moments it lulled me into a false sense of security, thinking his path could, by some grace of fate, be different. But, as the show's dramatic tension built, so too did the doomed reality of where he would end up. Had I Not Seen the Sun does end by feeling like the first half of a bigger story. However, this establishing tale of young love, unimaginable hardship, and how someone can become a monster was compelling in its own right. If Part 2 is anything like Part 1, then the whole show will be a heart-rending tale filled with powerfully complex events, all of which will somehow make Zhenyao's story even more of a tragedy.